I don't know about you, but I love checklists. I use checklists for just about everything, from setting up a website to going camping with the family. It is critically important to make sure that that you don't forget, that you remember everything that is important, like bug spray. Hey, it's Brandon Devnich from i3dTHEMES with our weekly segment where we share what we are passionate about here and what we've been working on at i3dTHEMES. So checklists. You know, a few months back, I released a website launch checklist. One of those things on the checklist was something that webmasters tend to just overlook, and that's getting an SSL certificate, or what we call an SSL certificate. SSL is actually a protocol that's been deprecated, but we call them SSL certificates or security certificates. It is what allows your website to encrypt end-to-end the server to the web browser to make sure that any communication between your website and the web browser is encrypted. And you see this for e-commerce sites, banking, anytime that there's any sort of information that needs to be protected. A couple of years back, Google decided that they were going to give a little bit of a lift to those websites that use a security certificate to encrypt their entire website. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but there's many websites out there that just we felt didn't need to be encrypted because, it's just information that's being read. Well, Google's trying to make a push to make sure the entire internet is secure. And you're going to see this now where there's a lot of web browsers like Firefox and Chrome will actually say the web page is not secure. It costs money to get an SSL certificate. Well, at least it used to. Typically, anywhere from $50 to $100 to $150 to get an SSL certificate set up for your website. About a year, maybe a year and a half ago, there's an organization that decided they want to set up what's called an Open Certificate Authority. This Open Certificate Authority would provide free and automatic SSL certificates. This last week, we finished the migration of one of our web hosting servers to brand new hardware, which makes the websites running on it run twice as fast. And because of it, the server software got upgraded as well and now allows for what's called the Let's Encrypt extension. Let'sEncrypt.org is where you can get these certificates provided the server has the right software on them. Our server now has the right software. And so we can now offer to our clients the ability to have SSL certificates or TLS certificates, secure certificates, to make sure that your websites are encrypted end-to-end for the people viewing your websites. And this is maybe not terribly important for just static websites, but giving your visitors the feeling that the site is secure is important. It also will help your Google ranking and your search engine rankings just a little bit. And in this game of being ranked well, every little bit helps. Speaking of checklists in the design lab, Colin has been working on his latest website template design called Cinematic. Now, this guy has been working on website templates for 16 years, since 2001. And over the course of those 16 years, Colin has developed and refined his checklists for building a new website. Now, everything from the research phase to the mock-up phase to the build phase, each has their own little checklists, such as what components to include and what sort of size of graphics to have. In the build phase, which is where he is currently, he has probably an 85-point list where he's going to check off and tick off things. As time has gone by, he's added and refined new tasks to his checklist. And one of the most recent additions, now keep in mind, over the course of 16 years, we're talking probably in the last 4 years, is the making sure that the website is mobile responsive. He tests first for mobile view in landscape and portrait, and then tablet view, and then finally desktop view. Of course, making sure that your website is mobile responsive is incredibly important, and having these checklists are what has made Colin's design process so successful and all the templates that he's made so successful. In the Code Labs this week, for our checklist, we've been working on the image optimization step for the Page Speed Accelerator website plugin that we've been developing for WordPress. We're about 50% of the way through the features for this plugin, so we're still on track for July 1st launch for this. But image optimization is something that you can do yourself to make your web pages load fast. You just go to a website called tinypng.com and you can upload your images to it, download them, re-upload them up to your website. It can take you about 10 or 15 minutes at most. This is the task that can have the biggest impact on your website and how fast it loads. So if you have a little, 10 or 15 minutes, check out tinypng.com. Really very easy to use, and it can, like I said, it can really make a huge difference in how fast your pages are loading. So anyways, checklists, we use them all the time. We find them absolutely important to what we do here at i3D Themes, making sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. From setting up your websites to, as I said, remembering bug spray for going camping. It can mean the difference between, it bit, to, that rocks. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this week here. Thanks so much for joining me. We'll talk to you again next week.